Okay, hi everybody.
Hi everybody.
I hope you can hear me
Hope you
well.
can hear me well.
And welcome to
And welcome
Reclaim
to Reclaim
Futures
Futures
conference.
conference.
I'm happy that
I'm
you
happy that you
are attending
are
my
attending
tutorial or workshop on avatars in Zoom. I'm Eyal Gruss. This will be a participatory workshop. And if you are not interested in showing your face, I hope that soon enough you will be able to um, choose an avatar and use that instead. Um, but I hope that indeed you will be active and take this chance to play with the tools and the techniques that they will present. So I think I'll begin because you guys from the conference are busy setting up stuff. So hopefully they will jump in later. Okay, so let's start with a short presentation. Try to keep it short. And just let me say that I'm not monitoring closely the chat, so please feel free to jump in if there is any question or issue. Um, okay, avatars in Zoom for all of us. This is a very long presentation that will not go over thoroughly. I'm Eyal Gruss. I'm a new media artist from Israel. I'm a machine learning researcher, and in my past, I did a PhD in physics. And I'm managing, I'm curating a newsletter for a new media artist. It's in Hebrew, but also people, internationals, told me that there are many interesting resources here. So feel free to join. And before Corona, I was also trying to be a digital nomad, but this is not happening now. So I came from the technical side to the world of art. Um, and my capabilities are quite limited. So I can write words and read and do the same for code, and I have many ideas, but I'm not very capable at making art. I don't know how to write or play music. I can't draw or paint, and even sometimes when I try to write, I have a writer's block. But I can write code, and this code can assist me. It can suggest alternatives or complete my, I don't know, sentences. It can help me generate media. It can help me manipulate media and maybe perform with media that I could not do otherwise. But still, it doesn't replace my concepts, my artistic process. I still write my machine learning myself. And also, and maybe most importantly, I'm the one making the poetic or artistic choices. So we're not going to talk at all about technicalities of neural networks and deep learning. I just want, if you're not familiar, I just want to show you one slide. We're talking about generative neural networks. In general, a machine that can take a medium in one format, say text, image, video, anything almost, and learn, process it, learn how to extract semantic information out of it, and either analyze, tell you what's going on in this medium. But more interestingly for us, in a generative task or in a transformative task, take this medium and translate it to a different output. And it can be in the same medium, for example, text going from Hebrew to French, or it could be in a different medium, for example, an image and a textual description of that image, or maybe even vice versa, starting from the textual description and generating a new image. So We will see some examples. Um, and not talk at all about all this complete learning stuff. So sorry for using a different presentation. I just want to say that many times when we talk about generative art, some people say, why are you talking about this as art? This is an iPhone app. Everybody just presses a button and you get this filter, but maybe it's not art. And I think part of the answer is in generative art, the role of the artist is somewhat of a role of a curator. And maybe a similar example happened in the world of photography. So today we consider photography as art, of course. But you know, the photographer, she does many stuff that I'm not aware about, but she takes the frame, she chooses the frame and the timing. She doesn't sculpture nature or paint nature, but yet we call it art. So maybe it is the essence of the poetic choice that makes this art, or the act of curation. And you can see this, of course, also in poetry. I have an example here in Hebrew, so I'll skip it. But you know, another thing that happened in recent years is the advancement of deep learning as a method to generate photorealistic images and also other media. All the people you see here are, of course, fake. And this is already from some years ago, and it's happening with a technology called a GAN, or Generative Adversarial Network. So we had before the generator, a machine that can take some input and output an image or something else. But in this technique, we also have a second network, which is a discriminator, or I like to call it a curator network. And what it does is it looks at the output of the generator and tries to discern if that is fake, if it is indeed computer generated by the generator, or is it real, compared to real images. So, and it turns out that this technique, the generative adversarial network, or GAN, gives state-of-the-art photorealistic results, and this made a big change, and today is one of the most common neural network architecture used for generating synthetic media. And I find it curious that if before I said that maybe the painter, the creator, the human one, is replaced by the machine, but still now takes the role of curating. So you see here that essentially the best algorithm used today do not only the creation, but also the curation. And this is something that I tried to speak about in a previous work of mine with Eran Adas, electronic curator, where there is a painter creating this kind of vegetable faces live, but also we are using the curator part from the generative adversarial network to decide when the output is good enough and when to display the drawn portrait on the gallery in the museum. So in the electronic curator, not only the artist is replaced by the algorithm, but also the curator. So, I guess you've seen things as similar like this. All of these images are computer generated. As time gets by, the awareness of public to, I'm not sure what your background is, but the awareness to the possibilities in synthetic media is getting more and more out there. And I want to skip ahead. And so this, for example, is I like to think about these things as a tool that enables and augments me. So for example, I don't know how to draw. This is my drawing capabilities on the left. But but doing this, and with one click, I can get this output. And you see the bark of the tree is not so good, but the water with the reflection is very nice. And this, of course, also has industry usages, for example, in the creative advertisement industry. Okay, so I mentioned in the beginning, for example, text to image, and one of the pivotal works was a StackGun from 2016, which actually surprised people working in the field in the capacity that they thought that it will take maybe one more year before we have the ability to take text and generate an image describing this specific text. And it happened like 1 year before it was expected. And I think it says something that the field is accelerating so quickly that people working in it are surprised by the rate of acceleration. And in the capacity of the media arts and poetry, we created in a hackathon, a very short hackathon, we put together various components of text to image and translation and speaker recognition. And we created this live visual poetry machine, pictures of job goals and synthesis. I'll show you a short part. And so maybe you didn't understand all the languages, but maybe you could get something from the visual, and you try to create here a more universal and visual experience of poetry. So this is just to show you the some of my work and the possibilities to hack things together with the technologies that are available today. Let me get to the deep fake stuff and skip all this non-relevant text things. Okay, I have to say something about GPT because this is relevant for creating a media. And the GPT is a language model. It generates a text starting from a short queue. And if you're following the media, you probably heard about it in the last weeks and months, because very recently came out a GPT-3, and it's very convincing in its ability to create text that looks not only correct, but also original and interesting and thematic. And maybe I can show you one example, not in Hebrew. Okay, in English, I created this. Actually, there is no free access to this algorithm yet, to this model, but there is some hack via a game called AI Dungeon, where you're supposedly able to speak to the machine. And playing with it, I got this text in response. And I've seen much better, but this is the one that I got, and I like it. So in response to some queue, I don't remember already the details. Probably I can never recreate this, but I got a screenshot. So I'm a dragon. I'm a dragon. I'm a dragon. You say to yourself, you're not a dragon. You're a freak, a voice says. You look around and see a large green head with two red eyes. It's the head of a dragon. Who are you, you ask? I'm you, but more badass, he replies. This is stupid. I'm dreaming. Well, wake up then. So this is amazing. This was created by a machine. We could not dream about this quality 1 year ago, and now we have it. It is not readily accessible, and it costs like, I don't know, millions of dollars to create this and train this model. And you need a supercomputer just to run it, but it shows something of the potential in text generation. And moving forward to the main course, we will talk about avatars and deepfakes. So this is a demo I did for Israel TV already some years ago. So I guess every video I'm showing you is choppy, but everything should work smoothly if it's not via Zoom. And what I'm doing here is taking this Dror Globerman, this presenter, and swapping his face or putting upon his face the face of Benjamin Netanyahu, one of Israel's two current prime ministers. And this is called a deep fake. And let's dive in to speak to understand some terms about this technology. And feel free to jump in if you have any questions or concerns, or just if you want to let me know that I'm not alone here.
You're not. It's great.
Okay. Okay. So in the beginning, deep fake referred to specifically to face swapping. So, and these slides are from Yuval Nilkin's paper. He has a startup doing this stuff. So we have a target and source is always confusing for me. So the driver controls the effect. And here we have the avatar. And I used to call it the victim. And it was always strange when I said the victim, especially if it was an image of a woman. And people told me, maybe you change it. But I actually left it because I think it's important to remember that the avatar is a victim, and we should take care what we do with his or her image. So in face swapping, we're taking the Chinese president and putting his face on top of Obama. But we can also talk about puppeteering, which was at the time harder to do, but actually we will see today how it can be done very easily. And in puppeteering, so this woman, the driver with the short hair, is controlling the woman with the long hair. And there are subtle differences. So in face swapping, we take the identity from the avatar, and we take as always, the expression, head pose, and lip sync from the driver. But here we also retain the hair, body, skin tone, background, and so on of the driver. And on the other hand, for puppeteering or reenactment, it's a little bit different. We take the identity, again, from the avatar, but we also take the hair, body, skin, and background from the avatar. And what we get from the driver is essentially only the expression, head pose, and lip sync. Okay, so there's a difference here, but generally people call everything today a deep fake. And it is very simple, the basics of how this stuff can work. How is it built? How is it trained? So you take an image and you put it into this machine. Maybe you remember from the beginning, the large network. The first part is an encoder. It learns we hope that it can learn something of the semantic meaning of the image, the semantics of the image, and represent it in some so-called computer description or a latent code, if you want a more technical term. And then we have this second part in blue, which is a decoder. It takes this latent representation and decodes it, and in this case, tries to reconstruct the original image. Okay, so we essentially it's a compression. We compress it to the essentials, to the semantics, and then we try to see that this is enough to recreate the original. And there are two tricks. The first, I do it for many images, like in machine learning always, but here when I apply it to Benjamin Netanyahu, we use the same encoder for all input images, but each identity has his or her own decoder. So this is an Eyal decoder, it will create Eyal, and this was a BB decoder, it will create BB. And now the second trick, when we use it, I will put myself into the encoder, but I will decode it as Benjamin Netanyahu. In this way, I can transfer something of my, say, expression to his face and get these face swapping or face reenactment that we've seen before. Okay? So this is the basic technology. And this is a very impressive, let it run for a second. So I'm not sure you hear the audio, so let me speak over it and you can see it later. So this is an actor, and as he is a voice impersonator, and as he's making a voice impersonation of all these celebrities, they are swapping his face with the person that he is making his voice. And the combined effect is very convincing. And still today, when people ask me, okay, can you do this deep fake? I say, okay, but maybe for the voice, you should get a voice impersonator. It will be better, cheaper. Okay, I recommend that you see this later. But we also have to remember the victim side and speak about the moral issues. So at the time, there was this deep nude app taking a clothed woman and generating a completely invented naked body. But of course, the combined effect can be very disturbing for this non-consenting person. But maybe a better usage for faking bodies is this work. Everybody dance now. So here they take the driver video and they understand the pose from it, and from the pose they can recreate the video of the student dancing or actually being puppeteered by this original dancer. I'll show you, and it's again, it's a good frame rate, really smooth. Probably you see it choppy in Zoom. Show you one example. So these are the students. They cannot dance ballet, but with the everybody dance now, you can make them dance. So so in the last year or two, if you're following the field, you can see various examples, and there are two main themes that I see. One of them is like being able to work with more modalities like face, body, general scenery, and getting better quality, and being able to work in various conditions. But the other and not less interesting theme is being able to apply this effect readily and easily without requiring like special training for a specific source media or the wanted output target media. And this is called few shots or one shot, being able to take just a few images or one image and control it. And maybe the model did not see before, not the driver and not the avatar. And being able to do so and run this without special computation power, without needing special knowledge, special training procedures, and making this available and accessible for general use. So this is a second strong theme that we are seeing, and actually this workshop is built around some of these examples. So there are examples also for voice, but let me skip them because we're not going to deal with this. And I want to speak a little bit about the morals and the philosophical view, and then speak specifically about the tools that are available that we will play with today, hands-on, that you will use to create deepfakes and avatars. I'll show you some of the usages that people did with them or I did with them, and then we'll jump in and hopefully have most of these 2 hours to work with different tools and see the possibilities and create stuff. So 3 positive aspects of deepfakes. 1, I hope that the accessibility will help raise the awareness and healthy skepticism towards media. So I saw many Jews in the audience, and we know about the libels from the mid-ages talking about the Jews drinking the blood of babies or something like this. Of course, this is fake news. And also for faking not only stories, but media, the technique of collage or a photo montage is started maybe in the mid-19th century. And 40 years later, in the end of 19th century, we have this example of Herzl, the modern Jewish prophet, meeting with the German emperor, but the photographer was too thrilled and he couldn't confused. He couldn't get a good photo, and then he made this collage of these 2 separately taken images. Okay, jumping to modern times, it's very easy to create fake imagery. You take imagery from Syria and you say it happened in Gaza. And we've seen this time and time again. If you know a little bit of Photoshop, for example, you could take this right-wing extremist demonstration in the States, and if you're a different kind of right-wing Israeli extremist, you can put the details, the logo of a left-wing human rights organization and make it as if they are neo-Nazis, although it happened in the other side of the world and completely not related. And of course, all your thousands of followers will believe the image. It's very easy to do. Of course, we can also do vice versa. So this is the guy that did this effect, and I thought I should put him back into this image after I bought his old website. So anyway, second thing, advantage or a positive view of this technology. So we've already seen a bad example, and of course, maybe the most famous example is in porn. So taking the face of unconsenting actress and putting it on porn, this is of course a big problem. But we can also use it to actually do the vice versa. And I want to suggest the capacity of privacy preserving media creation. And here, a few years ago, I made a demo to get some money from a film that I never got, so it's still low quality. And you can see here, I did like this docu-reality. I was walking with a candid camera and talking to women on the street and trying to meet them. And I wanted to show their reaction, but I didn't want to expose their identity and infringe on their privacy. So I couldn't do it for many years. I didn't want to put a blur on their face or pixelate it until I had this technology of face swapping. And now I could make this, I could hide her identity. So I superimpose the face of an actress on this woman's face, but I can still get the authentic reaction, the lip sync, the head pose. Here she's saying that it's nice to meet me, but this is also Eyal, her husband, and he's coming by, and then I shut the camera and went away. Anyway, I was very happy to see that also real documentaries are doing this, and in Welcome to Chechnya, which is shown just recently, they actually use this technology to protect the identities of these Chechnyan people that are maybe gay or opposed to the administration. So this is a privacy preserving usage of this technology. So people are asking, can it be done in real time? And yes, it can. But probably, as you will see, it depends if you prefer quality or if you prefer real time. So the third thing is, and this is always more difficult to explain, I like to call it the fake anything paradox. And it's the idea that the media representation is not me. And maybe taking this forward, and I'm trying to live by this, maybe my physical representation is not me. So there is this politician that was accused of having gay sex that was probably illegal in his Muslim country. And he said it was a deep fake. And I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but it doesn't matter. I was happy that he could claim this. So we don't have any more time for my own videos, but I'll just tell you this shortly. A friend photographed me picking my nose. And I'm very embarrassed with this video because you see me putting my finger in my nose and it's not very nice. But then this friend is also an expert in deep learning, and he created a deep fake of me picking my nose. And this is very funny. I like this. It's like state-of-the-art computer vision and synthetic medium. You know, it's so good that actually these films are, they look exactly the same. I cannot tell. It's so good. I can't tell if it's real or fake. Now, here's the paradox. This I don't like. I'm ashamed of. This I'm proud of. It's super funny. And both of them show me picking my nose. So there is a paradox here, and I have to let go something. And I choose to let this one go. So maybe I shouldn't care so much if you see me putting my finger in my nose and picking my nose or having strange sex or whatever. Maybe I shouldn't care so much about representation of myself in media and my physical representation. And this is like a philosophy that I'm trying to live by. So I think these are some positive aspects. And yeah, I think this is the time to end this presentation and go to the browser. Good time also to take questions. Please open your mic if you have them. Okay. So I will show these links in the chat as it becomes relevant. Just to say, maybe just one, if you want to, I'll just give the link to this doc with all the links, and then you will have them as well. Okay, it's in the chat. So today we will talk or use the first order motion model. It's one of the few shot or single shot that I've shown you before. There is this nice demo here, but actually we can do this live. So let me stop sharing for a second and give the spotlight to this guy. Okay, so I have another account connected, but the audio is from the other one, so maybe the sync is not so good. But anyway, here I'm using Avatarify. It's a software that you can install if you know a little bit of code in Git, and in real time you can change between all these avatars and control them. And it will be somewhat lip synced. You can also have these cartoons. It doesn't work so good, but it's fun. Also for Muppets, it doesn't work so good, but we'll talk about this later. Game of Thrones always works good. Okay. This is nice, the statue, surprisingly. And so on. Okay, we will play with this. We will play with this very soon. So this is first order motion model. This is Avatarify, and okay. So I came about this like in the beginning of Corona days. Everything, all the human activity went to the virtual domain. Everything else was canceled. I was quite upset about it, like everybody else. And I wanted to, participate. I wanted to perform online. I wanted to socially interact online. I wanted to find love online. I didn't want so much to show maybe my face or my house. So I thought, what can we do? Maybe I can go without video. But then I recalled that not long ago we were promised that soon we will have this digital utopia. Maybe you heard about it. For example, in the film Ready Player One, that we can go into the oasis and choose to be any avatar we want to be. Not sure if you can hear it, so let me do the voiceover. So he is entering the utopian oasis. Facebook is also working at this now. And in the oasis, you can be anybody that you want to be. So, and people have been working on allowing these virtual spaces for a long time. If you heard about Upstage, it's like a very veteran attempt to do this. It's actually now, I think now they added like these Zoom features, but at the time it was like this funny chat that you can make voices and put on different images. And a more modern attempt to allow this kind of interaction we see in, for example, in VR chat. In this example by Modus Studio, they made these crazy parties allowing you to be all these wacky characters and interact in virtual reality or in the browser. And it was very, very cool. But unfortunately, not so many people attended. And actually, usually, when you speak about online interaction, it looks like this. This famous Zoom screen, same Zoom that we are talking in now. So there is a dissonance here. And I was thinking, how can we bridge this gap? And Avatarify that I showed you before literally came out in the same days that I was thinking about this, and I was so happy to have this ability and play with it. Now, as I mentioned, there is a trade-off. There are all these new papers doing this. This is, for example, for an Israeli startup, asking you to say which one is real and which one is fake. And you can get this really high quality deep fakes. But if you are agree to sacrifice some of this quality for accessibility and availability, you can already today use this technology. And I want to discuss the possibilities that we have and the tools that we will play with in a few minutes. So in this link, I listed some tools. I already talked about Avatarify. They actually have an iPhone app. And now I want to show you a FaceRig. It actually goes back a few years back, and it costs 16 bucks in Steam, but it's really nice. And later you will be able to play with these possibilities. So let me try to stop the screen share and connect. So you see this very nice, handsome fox avatar. And actually, they already had this demo in 2015. And now you see me controlling this avatar. I think it's really, really cool. And you can change different 3D avatars and 2D cartoon avatars. It does cost 16 bucks, but I think it's totally worth it. And switch back. So I did have some fun with all these methods. And I tried to do several interventions and activities with them that I will show. So I did mention looking for love, and here I try to use FaceRig to go in this online dating. As Shriki, the real tiger. That's what I called myself. It's in Hebrew, so I'll spare you the audio. I think I added a translation. Yeah. So what happens here after a long intro where I dance with all these guys waiting for the event to start, and the girls are laughing, and they ask me to take off the mask and be serious if I want to participate. You know, I talk to people later. In Hebrew, the word for screen, masach, and the mask, masecha, are from the same root, and actually also maybe the word mask in Latin. And we agreed that maybe the problem is not the mask, but the screen. But anyway, they kicked me out before it began. So they said, "What is this? It's a fake. It's a bot. Kick him out." And I say, "No, I'm real. I'm a real tiger. I want to find love. I'm real." But it's not a mask. But they kick me out. Okay. So I had a lot of fun with Avatarify. Here I went in this online theater event as Miri Regev. She was the cultural minister at the time. And actually the organizer thought that it was actually her. Here there was like a Zoom demonstration projected on the Shaiba Abad, or an official from the Treasury Department at the time. And I actually joined the Zoom as his avatar, and it was fun. We will play with this today. This is Benjamin Netanyahu, but this video was created by a person participated in a workshop like today. So this is a reenactment with the first order motion model. And you can see the quality is quite good. You have a snap camera and lens studio allowing you. There is also software for a PC, a snap camera, and they're also putting in now AI. So they have all these cool features, but essentially they have these Instagram type, Snapchat type masks. I'm using like a webcam, simple webcam in this light ring for the effect you're seeing now. I also have a vocoder, but I spared you the fun of hearing me as an alien. It's not so fun. And there is this guy using Avatarify to bring back a family member. So he recreated his grandparents. And this is another convention with Gideon Saar, a parliament member, and I also went in as his avatar, protesting about spam he sent in the elections. But the last example I want to show you, maybe most interesting one for me, there was this conference and presented there an Israeli company that takes facial images and attempts to claim that they can say if this is an intended criminal, or if this person will be a pedophile or something like this. And of course, this isn't information that you can learn from a face. So I had a question to ask. I'll show you how it went. So killing with something from the past, this famous Austrian guy comes in and asks if they can use face from criminal recognition technology to catch all the Jews that are taking the jobs or something like this. So this can be used as an artistic tool, as an intervention tool, and so on. There are also applications for a full body. We will also play with this. And the last thing I want to say is I'm very thrilled to announce that these tools that we will play with now are also going in the curriculum of some Israeli schools, and people and children in elementary school will learn to use this technology, and I hope this will help them get the awareness and understanding of the possibilities and the dangers and the required responsibility in using them. Okay, so I think okay, last example, wave to lip, taking a speech, just a WAV file, and making people say, and the lip sync is good, believe me. Okay, so it's a very long song. So I think this is enough. I think I showed you everything, and this is a good time to take questions if you have them. So let me monitor the chat. Please feel free to jump in. So guys, we're starting now the participatory part and the mandatory participatory part. So please, please make yourself available either with your video or with your soon created avatars. So if we go back to the document with all the links, which you can access, and I put it in the chat, j.mp avatars for all, this document. You can see all the tools that we will now play with. So first, and I'll do a walkthrough with two of these collabs. And if you're more advanced, feel free to jump in and play with any tool that you like. The first three are using the first order motion model. So we will see video to head, there is video to body, and there is camera to head. And this is something really special that maybe you will be the first people to use this. I created this very recently, and I'm not sure if there are more examples like this doing this live in the browser. Then you have the wave to lip and the liquid gun for, again, body avatars. Virtual camera, you will need to install some software if you want to use this as a feed for Zoom. But this is not very important now. This is for the more advanced. And then you have many other software. If you know Git, you can use the Avatarify, which I'm using on the second account here as the Mona Lisa now. There is an iPhone, I have an iPhone app, and there is a demo for the wave to lip. There is the face rig we've seen. There is the snap camera from Snapchat, and also another a cartoon that you can control with your body. Just housekeeping some resources. This is the Git for the collabs that I will present. And there is a list of many more generative tools you can play with. And the slides, very large, don't download it now. You can find here. And that's it. So I will ask you to go to the first link, JMP vid to head. And we'll do a quick walkthrough if you don't know what collab is. And I will ask you to make the screen share smaller and go through the collab with me and make sure that you can access it and run it line by line. So what is collab? Colab is a cloud environment for a Python notebook. So this is full with code. I actually hided the code, but you can double click it to open the code and you can change it. And once you open it, you can actually go and do run all, but I want you to go through it with me because I will later ask you to change things. So for each cell, we can just press run, and the first time it will ask us to approve, and we shall approve. And please go through the steps with me and let me know that it's working for you, because soon enough, I will ask you to use this to create your own deepfakes. So after going through the setup stage, and it's going in the background, there are options to either use URLs to choose the driver video and the avatar image. And I can put here a YouTube. Or there is an option, if you mark it, there is an option for manual upload. So just for beginning, I will start with running this pre-populated URLs to grab the video and image I've chosen already from the web. And once the first box will finish, if you press play here, the second one will run. So could you let me know in the chat or in the mic that you're able to do this? Is anybody experiencing any problems? Yes? No? All good? Are you with me? So if it's long video, I need to trim it, but this specifically is not long. And then I need to prepare assets. There are many options here. For now, you can leave the defaults. And we will see what the driver video and avatar image are. And after a cropping and centering going on. So it's processing the video. It will take a few seconds. Please run it alongside with me. And you can see, so this is the driving video, of course, Benjamin Netanyahu. And this is Ahmed Tibi, another parliament member. They are not friends, but we will drive Tibi with Bibi. So next step, I made it explicit so you can see how it works. It finds the alignment, the best alignment in this case, between the a frame from the video and the avatar image. And we will see in a second the facial landmarks of both. Please run this with me. So you can see the correlation. And I didn't explain how it works, but essentially it's tracking not these, but other facial features automatically, and then manipulating the image to do reenactment of the driving video. So this will take a few seconds. Please run it with me. And when it finishes, we will get the effect, the animation, the single image driven by the driver video. And then we can download it. By the way, if you want to use the file system, you press on the left folder, and maybe you do refresh, and you can see. So this is the effect. Okay, you can see the avatar image, the driving video, and the animation that we created. And once we download it, we can play it with sound, which is important to get the effect. Okay, so this is the first notebook, and there are two more. One of them is the second link. It's similar, but here instead of controlling a head, you can create or control a full body movement. It doesn't work so good. There is also the notebook for the liquid gun that works better, and you can just go through and do a run all and get it working in the background. Okay, and the third notebook that we will see, and maybe the most interesting one, is the cam to head. And to run it, I will need to close my camera. And if you please go to the last JMP link, JMP cam to head. You can just go and do run all. And it's running. It will take a few seconds to set up. Let's see if the body finished already. So here they're using, it's still going on. Please let me know if you were able to run this, or did you have any issues? So also here, there's an option to choose the avatar images, either from a URL or have a manual upload. And I've chosen 3 strong women as my first avatars. And now, and this is the tricky part with the Zoom, it will ask me to approve the camera, hopefully. Yes. So I choose my camera. And what we will see now is this GUI I've built, allowing us to run this first order motion model in the browser. And it's almost in real time, maybe slower because all of the Zoom going on now in the background. And as far as I'm aware, this is the quickest online implementation, allowing you to do live reenactment in your browser without special hardware, without installing anything. There are many knobs here. I can change the avatars. And I can also use synthetically generated ones, as you've seen in the talk. And you can choose if you want the gender or the age. Everything here is based on other people's work. Of course, I just made the interface. There are some options for cartoons and more foxy cartoons. And a very special model from the website. This Muppet does not exist, created for my friend Oron Adler, especially for this. And results may vary, but some are quite cute. It's harder to control them also, but let's wait until we get one good one. This is work in progress. Okay, this is nice. And there's also an option to control yourself. So this is like a snapshot of me, and this is me controlling a single image of me. And there are many options here to calibrate. It's a very important option. I actually added auto calibrate, which is nice to play with, and you can play with the zoom and the crop. Sometimes being closer can help you control better, and you can calibrate again. And you can do like blending and see the correlation between the two faces, one on top of the other, and also show the landmarks. This makes it slower, and so on. And there's some other controls to play with. If you're confused, you can just do reset and go back to the beginning. And again, this is quite unique because I didn't find anything like this otherwhere that can work in like acceptable frame rate. And you have it in your browser now, and hopefully you're running it together with me. And hopefully you will be able to use it and connect to Zoom with it. So this can be done using, let me just get back the camera and spotlight. This, just a second. Need to close the other thing. So this can be done using a virtual camera, for example, the OBS software, and you then choose the region that that you are creating in the browser and use that. Also, if you make a video, you can also put it as your like Zoom background and just move out of the frame. And I think this is a good time, and we have like 50 minutes to start playing with. And I think this is a unique opportunity to do this online and get feedback and help. And it's also very interesting to see results that are midway, that are even bad results, because probably I can maybe give some feedback and recommendations how to improve. So I will take a very short bathroom break after I make sure I close the microphone and video. And when I come back in 2 minutes, hopefully people will be able to share some stuff that they run in the collabs. So you can either run the live collab and just for beginning share your screen, or you can run the vid to head collab and choose your own video and your either or own avatar and create deep fakes in the browser and get back these videos that you can share. So I'll be just back. Okay, and we are back. I can show you the what we did with the full body. So there are actually two models, one for fashion model and one for Tai Chi, and I try to apply the Tai Chi to this model. It doesn't work so good, as you can see here, but actually there is another notebook. It's not so nicely built, so it's for the more advanced. I will make it, and I will make a GUI in the future, but the other one is the liquid gun. But you can see here, so this is not very good or not good at all, but you can see somewhat of the movements here, for example, with the fist that will go out, hopefully, as he does. You can see for a second, she also puts out the hand. And you can actually get better results with the liquid gun that I've shown you before with this one. So there's another notebook, and this actually gives better results, but you need to change some code. So please, only if you know how to do it. So let me just recap again what we will use now. So we have the three collabs: the video to head, the video to body, and the camera to head. There are two more, but they do require some changing of code, so only for the more advanced. If you want to try to use this in Zoom, you need the virtual camera. One example is OBS. It's the recommended one. You would need also this plugin, the OBS Virtual Cam. We seen other software, either Avatarify, which was a big inspiration for me, but you need to install code. There is the Avatarify iPhone app. There is a live, not live, but there is an online interface for the Valve to Lip demo. There is the Face Rig on Steam with the Tiger I was before, but it does cost some bucks. There is the Snap Camera, which is a Snapchat client for a PC. And there's another example here of just controlling a cartoon from your camera. So please, I would be happy, unless you're very advanced, I would be happy if you choose to start with the V2 head or with the cam to head, and choose your own video, your own avatars, or your own face. And I'm interested to see what can you create with it. And also, as you may have understood, it's important for me to make these tools more accessible. So any feedback that we can get on the issues that you have or what you're missing would be very helpful to improve. And the idea is that this technology that until recently was only in the hands of the tech savvy or the larger corporations, will be available to everyone. And there's this short transition period until we have all these apps and everything works with a button click, that maybe only the people who are programmers can use it. And what I'm trying to do here is skip this period and give this option today to artists, to journalists, to the general public. So I guess some of you are artists, and I would be happy to see what you would do with it.
So Eyal, can I have a question?
Yes, please go.
So I ran the cam to head, and now I have this video of myself connected to the camera. And now I want to use this like in the Zoom. Can I do it? Because I only have it in the scope of the
browser. Yes. So did you use the one with the camera or with the uploaded video?
With the camera, cam to head.
Very, very good. So So first of all, you can share your screen, and if you would like to do it now, we can all see the effect.
Yeah, so this is my test, and I choose the boy, and how can I now connect it to the Zoom?
Okay, so actually I'm surprised that we could both see this and you speaking from the same camera. I'm actually not sure how it's possible.
You can see my shared screen. I share the screen.
Yeah, but before we've seen you also talking, and usually the cameras compete. So I'm curious how it happened. But anyway, you do need to use a virtual camera. So this is you now. Are you doing this now?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. So you do need to install virtual camera software. And what I recommended is OBS. And maybe let me show you. So OBS is a software for streaming and recording. You do need to install the virtual cam plugin, which I gave the link to. And once I do this, there is some configuration. I need to do window capture. So I need to add window capture and find the window with the correct name to choose from. Maybe we can choose the Zoom window.
So do you have this step by step in the document or something?
Okay, that was fun. Actually, I closed my computer unintentionally. So what I was in the middle of showing you is, can you hear me? Am I back?
You're back.
Okay, sorry for that. So I was trying to show the OBS, and you can use this software to choose the part of the window, and then maybe I can show it from the other machine. It will be easier. Let me try. Okay, so this is the machine I'm running the Avatarify on, and I'm using OBS, and OBS is a window capture, and it's looking at this small Avatarify window and using it as a virtual camera. And then in Zoom, I can choose okay, I cannot show it because the screen sharing, but for my video, yeah, I choose OBS camera. Not sure, you cannot see it because it's the controls. So I'm using the OBS camera as a virtual cam in Zoom. So it's a little bit more involved, but hopefully you can do it. And of course, there is other software like Vimix and other things, but this works best for me.
Can you put some step-by-step instruction for using this camera in the same document, or point us to other resources which can guide step-by-step to how to do it?
I should. I don't have it available now. I will prepare it later. Maybe in Avatarify, you can find such instructions also for Mac. But for me, the most important thing now is seeing some of the stuff you create and seeing that you're able to make this effect, as you've shown us very nicely. And connecting it to Zoom is like, it's fun, but it's not the most important thing. Let me see for a second if there are instructions for Avatarify. Okay, doing some live browsing. Okay, so there are some instructions in Avatarify or virtual camera, but essentially you need to install OBS Studio, you need to install the virtual cam plugin, and then you need to do this capture window. And so you can see the instruction here. So
okay,
I'll put the link in the doc. So you have it.
Thanks.
Okay, so I would love to see sharing from more people. And again, if you have issues, it's an opportunity to show us. And I lost the host capabilities. Clement, can you make me host again? Not sure if he's with us. Okay, anyway, so I'll be very happy to, if you guys care to share either issues that you have, partial results, things that you're working on, or things that you were able to do with the collabs or with any one of the other tools. Okay, so O. Williams sent us a link of something she made in the previous workshop. Let me try to show it on my screen. Is this a video? It's supposed to be a video. Oh, not sure what this is. So I'm not sure. I got only a static image. The third story. Maybe you can do it from your screen because I'm not so savvy with Instagram.
Am I sharing now?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the third story. That's this one, which is basically a video of myself on a Barbie face, and it worked quite well.
And did you do this using a static video or with your camera?
No, a static video.
Okay. Irini is asking if the OBS virtual cam supported by Mac. I'm actually not sure about anything Mac related, but probably in the same link for Avatarify, you can find instructions for Mac. Maybe there are easier options, I'm not sure. Did anybody try to run the full body notebook or play with one of the other tools like Face Rig or Snap Camera? So guys, please let me know who is working on something so I know if we should wait or if you want me to show you some more advanced stuff or maybe actively help you with the virtual cam. Tzachi, Jeff, are you following? So no response. So let me take the time to help you connect to the virtual camera because this is a request from already 2 people. So I'm not sure about Mac, but please go to the download link and try to download the OBS. Okay, so for the full body results, you can try to go ahead and run the liquid gun notebook. It's not so not so tidy, but I guess if you just do run all using the preset examples, it will run. Hopefully, I'm not sure. I don't recall if you need to change something or not. But of course, we can also take this offline later if you're interested in this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, so Hannah, were you able to get the OBS?
I haven't tried yet. Actually, I can see that the previous V2 camera was stuck after a while. So maybe it's something that you want to check because I can see why. I can see why the boy stopped working with the camera.
The cam to head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
So I tried to rerun it again, so it will work again. Or did you limit it for some time?
No, so I didn't limit anything. There are some limits by Google, but it's like 12 hours or 18 hours. So the thing is, it is a little bit flaky. I'm using like WebSocket over ngrok, and I'm actually not sure what these words mean, but I did need to do some hacking and use other people's suggestions to do this kind of a connection to the webcam, because the webcam is running on your browser, but the backend is running on Google Cloud, and it's not trivial to make this connection in real time. And sometimes it's flaky. There is a problem with either with the WebSocket or with the webcam. So you can either do stop and play just on the last cell, or if everything goes bad, you can go to the runtime menu and you can do reset and run all, or a factory reset and then run all.
Yeah, I just rerun it.
Okay, sometimes refreshing the browser, or refreshing the browser with also the cache with Control F5 does the work. But essentially, it should, if you restart it, it should work. There can be an issue with the camera. So, and this is the thing I was not sure about before. If Zoom is taking over your camera, then what usually happens is that the browser cannot access it. So if you have a competing software using the camera, you would need to stop it so the browser session can access the same camera. So if you want to go ahead, also I think Irini is working on this. Maybe we have time, and probably if we work together in a few minutes or by the end of the session, we can have you both on Zoom live with your avatars. So if you like, please install OBS and the Virtual Cam plugin. And once you're there, we can go through the steps to configure it. Tzachi, are you still with us? Do you have any comments or questions? Okay, so how is it going with the virtual cam?
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
I figured out that in order to make it work on Mac, I will have to install another version of Zoom. So I'm not sure if I can do it right now. It's a bit complicated for Mac. But I can share with you my collab.
Please do. Okay, so if you go ahead and press calibrate with your mouse or with the keyboard. So this is a really important step if you move around. Now, to get best results, you would like I'm not sure the image you're using, is it mostly, it's okay.
It is a bit profile, so yeah.
it's okay. But if you start, can you start mimicking the same head pose? Yeah, and then do calibrate.
Okay.
Okay, now
Okay.
back. Okay, so in some cases it does work for a profile, sometimes less.
Okay.
Maybe you would like to try a frontal facing one for better results, or you can just generate a random human, or if you want a woman or boy or girl with one of the buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is frontal facing. For better control, oh, the eyes are so crazy. For better control, sometimes it helps if you're more zoomed in, so you can go ahead and move the slider and then do calibrate. And I think now you have better control, right?
Yes, it seems better.
Okay, so
That's
maybe I
better.
should increase the initial zoom level. So yeah, these simple games can help a lot, and you get this know-how after you play with it. There's an auto-calibrate option I've added, and there's also this exaggeration. I see you moved the exaggeration factor. So this is experimental. It should be on 1, but essentially what it does, it makes everything move stronger and probably too strong. But you can play with it. And then there are all these other knobs and options, and you can have fun with it.
And what about the message buffer?
So so this is something so you can try and play with it. I'm using the WebSocket technology, and it's like a queue, and it can get like I'm not sure, too crowded. The queue can get too crowded, and then there is a long latency. But if the queue is too short, maybe the FPS is jumpy. So I wasn't sure how to set it exactly, so I put this slider, and you can try. So if you take it to a large value, it will be very smooth, but with latency. And if you take it to a smaller value, it will be less latency, but choppy. So somewhere in between. And there is actually better technology to use, but with WebSocket, I got the best results. There's also WebRTC, but I couldn't get a stable result there.
Okay, that's nice.
And there are other options from the model, like the relative stuff and the adaptive stuff, and option to change the blending and show the landmarks. Some of them work together. And you can also change the size of the resulting avatar. And also you can calibrate and then change the size again, and then
yes, I
change
see.
the things that you, the way that things are controlled.
Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, I will stop sharing.
So Hannah,
yeah, I just downloaded the OBS, and I'm also on Mac, but so far I don't have any problems with that. I'm just it's in an auto configuration wizard, and I don't know what it's require, like what I am supposed to do. So maybe I will share.
I would just do like OK and do the basic recommended configuration.
Yeah, I did till now. So now it's one.
You don't need streaming. You don't need the streaming now.
I don't need it. Cancel.
No, cancel. Yes.
Okay. So what is next? What's
So did you install the virtual camera plugin? It was a second
Okay.
link.
Oh, I missed that.
Okay.
So I should install the
Yeah, please go ahead and do it.
this one. Which one of them?
The 9491. It's the second one in the virtual camera links.
This?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And go to download on the right.
Yeah, just want to see if they have some.
Oh, it says supported Windows. So,
Ah,
so I'm not sure. I'm really not.
maybe they have here also a virtual cam for Mac.
Maybe. I wasn't aware that the plugin is limited in this way. You could try.
Don't know. This is for sure only for Windows.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not Mac aware. So maybe there is an issue. And I just wanted to mention I'm stopping your sharing.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that in Zoom, there is always a possibility to choose a background, and specifically the background can be a video. So here I don't have anything interesting. So anyway, if you created this kind of video, you could always choose it as a virtual background. And then, so I have a video, but it's of a logo, but just for the sake of, so if I put a video and it's going in a loop and I move out, and if this is a person, then of course it's a different kind of so-called avatar in Zoom. So this is like a cheap option if you're not able to connect it with the virtual camera. Now, for some of the other software, like the face rig and the snap camera, they already have this component inside, and you can, if you have the proper Zoom version, probably you can directly make the connection. But if for the collab things, we still need some kind of virtual camera. Another software I used, I'm not sure if it's for Mac or not, but you can try. I put it in the chat. It's called vMix. And you have to register, but it's like 1 month free, if I'm not mistaken. And probably if you do like Google for virtual camera Mac, you can get better answers than I can provide.
Okay, maybe I try later from my PC instead of Mac, just to make it simpler.
Okay, so let's go back to the links. So we have like 10 more minutes. If you guys are interested to play with more stuff, I can help you go through them. And it's only the 3 of us, I think. So feel free to say if anything looks more interesting to you, and we can go through it. So we had the 2 other notebooks, one for the better liquid wrapping for controlling body, and there was the WAV to lip, which also has an online interface. You put in a WAV or an MP3, and it moves the lips in sync. And sometimes this effect is strong enough just moving the lips and having the background audio. I think this I didn't show you, so I can try to show it now. I do need to cancel my camera. So yeah, asking for camera permission. And this is also in the browser. I'm not sure if it's working. Essentially, it's using TensorFlow JS to control this cartoon based on my head position and body movements. I think it, oh, here it is. So it's quite nice. You can see the facial landmarks in the body. And I can even put up my hands. It's real cute animation, and it's real fast, and it's completely in the browser. No collab needed. And even I can change girl or boy. So this just shows you the possibility today to run things on JavaScript in the browser. There are many nice things you can do with P5.js or with TensorFlow.js. Okay, so do you have any questions or remarks, or shall we wrap this up? So let me just put back my camera. Okay, so people, thank you very much for attending. Feel free to follow up with me. You should have all the links, put it up again, and you can download the very big slideshow, and there's the get here, and there's a list of generative tools with many, many other options, either collab or web interfaces. And feel free to follow up. Please send me stuff if you do it later, so I can be proud of it. And please feel free to check out the agenda for the festival, the conference, Reclaim Futures. This is continuing in today, tomorrow, and the day after. A lot of interesting content and artists. And that's about it. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.